Here we are with liftsladdersandocks.com, Kalamazoo, Michigan, Schoolcraft technically. We're going to show you how to size up for a dock today, especially if you have a goofy rock wall or a seawall. Usually we measure off the height of the water to try to find what your pole lengths will need to be. But when you have a seawall or a rock wall that you're coming off of, you're actually using that as your level. So you might even be 3 feet above the water with your dock if you want to be level with your seawall or your rock wall. So this is a good one to kind of show you that today. Technique that we came up with that's not perfect at all, but it's better than nothing. You can use any tape measure. You don't have to have one of these 100-footers, but it helps. So what you're going to do is wherever you want the dock to start, you're going to keep the tape measure down where you want it to exactly start. So we have this nice little wall here. It's about knee high, a little higher. And we do have a slight slope down because they didn't want to keep it too high off the water. Some people come completely level. Some people have to slope it down over a section or two to have a nice gradual slope. But this one, pretty simple. What you're going to do is, you can start, if you want 50 feet of dock like we have here, some people start their docks 10 feet on the shore now just to get out of the soggy stuff during the rainy season. This one we're a couple feet onto shore. So wherever you want your dock to start, that's where you got to start your measurements for your sections. If you want 50 feet, you can't measure here. A lot of people try to do that and they come up short when they actually install it. So we're going to start from where we want to start, holding the tape nice and right where we want it. What we're going to do is come out to 10 feet and pretend this dock isn't here. So it just helps for the reference. But we're going to go 10 feet. Going to kind of hold this level on here, and right about there is where we want it. So it's staying a little higher than the dock because we're actually sloping down with the dock. What we're going to do then is measure down straight from that point, keeping it about there. So we're about 30 inches there. So normally when we have a depth, if customers provide a water depth, we add at least 2 feet to that. That gets you, on an aluminum dock, you really need to be 12 to 18 inches above the water at the absolute minimum. You can discolor the dock and it can actually damage the dock if you submerge it, not only cosmetically but structurally. You want to keep that up. Now you got all these wakeboard boats putting out big waves. Make sure it's elevated out of those so it's not getting beat up. So we add at least 2 feet. Sometimes we add 3. And if you like to have a little extra pole sticking up, we'd certainly go more to 3 on that. It just depends on your actual height. But so this one, if we have 30 inches, we're going to round up to 36, a 3-foot pole, and then we're just going to add to that just to make sure that we're well out of the water. So we've got 4-footers here on this first one. And as you can see, we've got some extra play, but it doesn't look obnoxious. And that way, if the dock ever has to come up, you still have some spare pole. You don't have to buy all new poles or risk having the dock damaged, especially with all the floods recently. So same thing again, you're just going to keep continuing that system all the way out. So we're going to go, just keep doing the same thing. 20 feet. Pull the tape nice and tight from the shore. Throw the level on it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not a perfect system, but this is pretty close, as you can see with the dock. So basically at that point, we're about 40 inches. So again, we just round up. 48 is the next pull up. They come in 1-foot increments. That was going to be a little low, even if it would work for keeping the dock in. A lot of people try to keep it, kind of parallel or even with the different poles. So sometimes you add a little bit extra. And so we've got a 5-foot pole here, but that would be a little too tall. So what we did is we actually sunk some of the pole through the foot plate. That way it kind of brings it down, kind of keeps it looking similar. Or if you don't want to sink it through the bottom of the plate, you can just simply cut it off and tailor it to your exact specs that you want. Always cut from the bottom, that way you don't have to worry about an ugly cut up top and your hole spacing changing. or popping caps out. Cut it at the bottom, nobody cares, nobody sees it. Or you can just leave it and poke it in, it acts like a little auger. So basically you just continue that all the way out. You're gonna want, you know, enough depth. Pretty much the general rule is for a boat lift you need at least 3 feet on the front end. If you've got a ski boat or a wakeboard boat that requires the bunks to be sitting higher, you're gonna need a little more than that. I like to go about 4 feet with those. So plenty of depth by the time we get out here. 60 feet is all we need here. Sometimes you can go 300 feet and not be this deep, and sometimes people go 20 feet and it's 7 feet deep. At that point it's a little too deep for a boat lift with standard legs. 3 to 5 feet is optimal, 6 feet's fine with the adjustable legs on the boat lift. But after that, that's about all you need. So just to get the dock spaced and sized up, we just need the measurements every 10 feet from where you want to start, and tell us how much pole you want sticking up. Or you can kind of gather that when you're looking at it and doing your measurements. You can see how much you kind of want it, and then we can kind of play with the numbers and get you close. That way you get the best looking dock. Nice lightweight aluminum, composite deck, whatever you want, we can pretty much get it. We use these max lock systems. These are about as strong as you can get, the easiest adjustability. Covered in snow right now, but they are incredibly strong, incredibly light, super easy to adjust by yourself. We'll show you that in another video. But yep, so this is our max lock system. This is our superior dock, aluminum dock, anodized. Stays nice and cool, about 40 degrees cooler than wood, so you never have to worry about getting burned. It's about half the weight of a wood dock. Really, for this area, Southwest Michigan, anywhere in Michigan really, except for maybe Grand Traverse Bay or something like that, this is probably going to be the best solution for most people. So that's what we really try to stick with. Make sure that we can find a solution for most anybody, for most situations. So again, liftsladdersandocks.com, Kalamazoo, Michigan, Schoolcraft technically. This is just south of Kalamazoo. Find us online at www.liftsladdersandocks.com. Thank you for watching.